buddy, you're doing it wrong. You're not following the Torah the way it's supposed to be done. And you didn't say his name right. And your calendar's off. Matter of fact, if you don't do it the way I do it, I question as to whether you're really righteous or not. I kind of doubt you're going to get into the kingdom. Hi, this is Barry Phillips, the 10-Minute Torah, day number 2 of the Torah portion, Shoftim, or Judges. Nobody likes a Torah sheriff running around with a badge and a whistle and a little ticket book, writing out citations for those of us that disagree with their prescribed manner of how to observe the Torah, or the Torah's calendar system, or pronunciation of the name, etc. ad nauseum. Yesterday we began with the book of Deuteronomy, chapter number 16, and we read from verse number 18. And we will just briefly mention that again if I can get back to the page. It says that we are to appoint Shoftim and Shotrim. Very similar words. Shoftim, the Shotrim, with a resh or an R in there. Judges and officers within all of your gates. There are judges who sit in the gate, who make legal decrees pertaining to given situations. And then there are officers of the court, we might call them sheriffs, who would move throughout the community, and they would look for, just as our law enforcement does now, they actually keep their eyes open for those who break the law. So there were those who were looking for the violation of the Torah. Now, these are not self-appointed sheriffs. These are officers of the court. However, the Torah does not give legitimacy to the idea of shoving the Torah down people's throats the way we might think of ISIS trying to shove Sharia law down the throats of whatever area that they might control, or some other religious faction taking their belief system and demanding adherence. The Torah is the word of Yah given to us, but Yah says through Moshe, I set before you blessing and cursing, life and death. It's up to you to make that choice, but you bear the consequences, good or bad, of your choice. Now, before we get into taking the idea of judges and officers of the court, let's understand this, that the first role of authority that governs us, it's in the mind. It's that which is within us. We are to govern our own hearts. The lazy one of the spirit would say, someone come tell me what to do and I'll just do it. Just tell me what to believe and I'll believe it. Just show me how to pray and I'll pray it. Write me out the formula, points A, B, and C, 1, 2, and 3. Prescribe for me what it is that I need to do, and I will do it because you've already done the legwork and the study and the preparation. And by the way, you know more than I do. So I just adhere to whatever it is that you say. You can't do that. Every one of us is accountable. We are all accountable to how that we govern our own hearts, how that we choose to walk before Yah. You may hear someone's vantage point, perspective, and teaching, their doctrine, and obey it. If it's not correct, you bear the consequences of it, not the teacher. The teacher will be held accountable on their own deal, but you also will be held accountable. Whatever I teach you or anyone else teaches you, before you just take it verbatim without question, you go to the book. If I give you scriptures, go look at them in context. Read the whole of what I'm sharing with you. Go to the Father in prayer, consider it, contemplate it, meditate on it, pray over it, and see what the Father says. We're all human. We all can have a wrong perspective. We can all have a vantage point that needs to be changed. I know I do. There are things that I taught and believed some years ago, especially in my pastoral days. I no longer teach them. I believed them sincerely then. I believed I was correct. I was wrong. I believe I was wrong. So I have changed my perspective, changed the doctrine to become more conformable to what I see in Scripture. We're all on this same journey. We're all trying to do the same thing. We're all still learning. No one has it so correct that they don't need to study anymore. No one has already prayed through all their issues, so there's no need to pray anymore. Just hold on, the glory comes. Doesn't work that way. We're all moving together on the same journey. We're all learning together. And if I find that I have misquoted, mistaught something, I need to come back and change that. But to the best of my knowledge, with all heartfelt sincerity and with intensive study thus far, this is where I'm at. So, again, we don't want anyone shoving anything down our throat. For those in America that will remember the Andy Griffith Show, which I am a very big fan, no one wants us running around like Barney Fife with our ticket book. Or if you remember a certain episode, Gomer Pyle running around saying, "Citizens arrest, citizens arrest." We don't need someone just looking to see with great scrutiny how we're messing up. More often than not, folks need to be encouraged. We may not have it all together, but where folks are getting it right, applaud them. Tell them, well done. You're making progress. You're getting somewhere. How are you doing? What are you learning? How are you growing? What insight are you getting? What are you struggling with? What do you not understand? And trying to work it out together. In the age of the kingdom, Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 26 and following says that there's going to be a reinstitution of these judges. It says, "And I shall give back your judges as at the first, and your counselors, Ya'ats," not Shoftim, but Ya'ats, "as at the beginning. After this you shall be called the city of righteousness, a steadfast city." So the effect of these judges is to bring about an increased state of righteousness. But instead of Torah sheriffs, now we have counselors, those that advise, counsel, deliberate with us, scrutinize the scriptures with us, grow with us. "Sion shall be ransomed with right ruling, and the returning ones with righteousness. And the destruction of transgressors and sinners is together, and those who forsake Yahweh shall be consumed." So there's judgment on those that reject Yah, but for those that follow after him, there's going to be a state of increased righteousness. In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse number 34, "And no longer shall they teach each one his neighbor and each one his brother, saying, Know Yahweh, for they shall all know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them, declares Yahweh. For I shall forgive their crookedness and remember their sins no more." In the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 14, "For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the esteem of Yahweh as the waters cover the sea." The glory of Yah is going to cover the earth. The knowledge of Yah is going to prevail in the earth. I believe that most of our Torah issues of disagreement and not understanding and failing to perceive is because we don't know the author. At least not the way that we can. Not just that we should, but that we can. There's more to him than what we know. Seeking the face of the Father, discerning his heart, his character, his intent in the Torah will purify us as we seek to be like him through his son Yeshua. We'll contemplate on this, cancel on it, and talk more about it tomorrow.